Is it on? Is it on? Okay guys, so it's me, Taylor. I'm back 8 years later with a video. I wanted to restart my YouTube channel, but I realized that where I left off was my ringing the bell video that everybody's like, oh, I cried. Me too, girl. Well, anyway, so yeah, I feel like I need to make an update video before I get into it with the videos again. I'm kind of like thinking about what kind of videos I'm gonna do on this channel. Obviously all my old videos are like update videos of when I had cancer and stuff, so this video is gonna be basically it's gonna be how I found out I had cancer and like what happened. And I get a lot of questions like, what kind of cancer did you have? How'd you know? What'd you do? Where'd you go? So I'm just basically gonna fill you guys in. So if you've watched any of my past videos, you know that I had cancer. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 2A. I've told this story so many times that I don't know, it's just funny. Not funny, but it's just weird because like now, 8 years later, I don't even feel like it was me that was sick. Like I tell this story and I feel like I'm talking about somebody else because it's been so long. But yeah, it's crazy. And I'm not like very sensitive on the subject. A lot of people like want to know and they don't want to ask because they're afraid that I might be sensitive on the subject, but I'm not. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. I have it written down because as you can tell from this video already, I take forever telling the story, so I had to keep the key points. Gotta keep them key points. So I was trying out for softball at my school, and like I was having a really rough time at school at that time. Like I really didn't want to be there. Obviously, who wants to go to school? But it's not really like that I didn't like school. I think that's kind of when like my anxiety started to develop, which that will be another video. I'm gonna do a video on overcoming anxiety and dealing with anxiety because so many people think that that is just something in the mind, and I mean it is, but it's really hard to manage. So that will be another video. But I remember like we would run around the track and like at school, and I couldn't even make it around the track one time without wanting to pass out, like literally on the floor wanting to pass out. And that's, I mean, even if you're out of shape, that's not normal. I mean, people can run, especially when you're 15, 14, 15. You can do that. And so I remember telling my mom, and we went to the doctor like a few times for it, and they kept telling me that there was some inflammation in my chest that was normal for growing women, blah, blah, blah. And that that was causing the pain in my chest whenever I would run, and that's why I would feel like I wanted to pass out. So I was like, okay. My neck had swelled up really bad, and I went to the doctor. Again, I went to the HEB doctor this time. Went to the Heb doctor. Went to the Heb doctor, and I was sick, and and my throat was all swollen, and I just was like dying. And so I went in there, and she's like, here's some antibiotics, like yeah. And then so I took them for like a week or two. Nothing happened. After I went to the HEB doctor and they gave me antibiotics that didn't really do anything, the inflammation didn't go down, I didn't really get any better. I was having, the same flu-like symptoms. My mom decided to take me to the ears, nose, and throat doctor. And they checked me out. They looked all up in there, and it was pretty swollen, and he gave me more antibiotics. And these are doctors, so you think like they know what they're doing, like it must, you don't think of anything of it. So my mom finally was like, even after the ENT and those antibiotics didn't work either, My mom was like, it was on a Sunday, I think. She was like, your neck is so swollen. It was like, it started to look like I didn't have a neck. Like, my chin went into my, sorry, I hiccuped. My chin went into my shoulders. Like, yeah. Yeah. So we went to the emergency room doctor, and I thought my mom was tripping. I said, Mom, I ain't going. You could go. I ain't going. So we went there. They're like, okay, well, we'll do some blood work. We'll do a CAT scan. We'll see what's popping. They did a CAT scan. And so my mom and dad went out of the room and I was getting dressed. I got dressed. I remember walking out of the room and nobody was there. It was like ghost town. And I had stuck my head out the door and I'm like, hello. And I kind of see like the back of my dad like down the hallway. So then I kind of walked down there and my mom was sitting in a freaking wheelchair and my dad was like seeing like a damn ghost or something, and the doctor is showing them something on this big screen. It's like a x-ray, which I'll put the x-ray in this video, or the CAT scan in this video. They did a CAT scan and they found a huge football-sized tumor in my chest between my heart and my windpipe. And that is why when I would be running, my heart would start pounding and it would push against this tumor and it would make it hard for me to breathe. Damn. I wish I knew that before. They were telling me I was fat and out of shape, but whatever. I ain't gonna say no names, but Stafford High School. Anyways, so yeah, so then they were like, since it was a Sunday, they were like, well, we gotta send this off. It might have been a Friday, it might have been a Sunday. It was one of them 2 days. We gotta send this off. We'll send it to MD Anderson. It looks like lymphoma. Now, when you're 15 years old, and someone says lymphoma, I'm thinking like lymphoma, like pneumonia, like something like fixable quickly. No, I did not think lymphoma was cancer. So I go home and get on the good old internet, and my mom's all tripping. She's like, this doctor doesn't know what he's talking about. None of these doctors know what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah. So I go home and I get on the good old internet and I look up lymphoma. Now, let me show you what comes up on the internet when you type lymphoma and you press images. Ew, this is so ugly. I can't believe this was in my body. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that pops up. Ooh. Okay, this is graphic content, just so you know. This is what I saw when I looked up lymphoma, right? So I'm like, oh my God, like, that's not good. That's not good. I was like, so I didn't really do much other research besides press lymphoma in, look at images and call it a day and whatever. My mom was, tripping, but the doctor did say, he was like, really, Fiona? He was like, I've only been a doctor here for this long and I've never diagnosed lymphoma before, so I'm going to send you to a specialist. So we went to MD Anderson, and I didn't realize that lymphoma was cancer until we walked into MD Anderson, and there were so many cancer patients there. I mean, it's not that hard to recognize someone with cancer. I mean, the main thing is they don't have hair. So a lot of people were bald, which that sounds kind of harsh, but it is what it is. So there was a lot of bald people, and I was 15 at the time, so I was in the pediatric clinic. They had given me a wristband, and it said my name and my birthday and stuff, and it said MD Anderson Cancer Center. That is whenever I realized that lymphoma was a cancer. And I remember looking at it and telling my mom, Mom, we're at a cancer hospital. I know, Taylor, we're just ruling it out. So you knew? So you knew? You knew this whole time? Well, of course, my mom is probably tripping. herself, wondering what the hell is going on. We're just ruling this out to see what this is. So I'm like, okay, you said it. They do a little consultation with us. They talk to us, you know, get our information, whatever. So then I meet my doctor, which is Dr. Nunez, right? And at the time I have some long hair with pink highlights. I thought I was just everything, you know. He did an examination, and what they do is, you know, obviously I had a lumpy neck, so he got his fingers and was like, you know, this whole thing, like, you know, feeling them. And, you know, I don't know what they feel for, but they're feeling them. And then they scheduled me a surgery for that Thursday. Well, I went and had surgery. Can y'all stop arguing? Sorry, guys. I have to hold her or she's going to whine like a little biatch. Why you cry? Okay. So, they scheduled my surgery for that Thursday. We went, you know, oh my God. So I found out that I'm allergic to anesthesia, and I was tripping hardcore. Like, I'm gonna get into all my side effect stories another time because I have a few. I hallucinated at one point, saw gorillas, ripped a tube out of my body. Yeah, that was stitched into a vein in my heart. Ripped it out because I hallucinated. Yeah, just saying. If y'all want to hear about that, let me know. I had my surgery, which was the first biopsy in my neck, which was the higher one. And they did it, and it didn't come back cancerous. It came back benign. So then he was like, at this point, we know you have cancer. Sorry to break it to you, but you got cancer. We got to find it. So I'm like, do your thing. You know, when you're 15... you don't think about, like, the bad stuff. I was worried about my hair falling out, okay? And I was worried about, like, some stupid stuff, you know? Yeah. I was not thinking about cancer. Like, I could die. Like, there's something freaking killing me in me. I'm thinking, am I gonna look cute bald? No, you don't look cute bald. Nobody looks cute bald. Just saying. Some people do. And it wasn't me though. They scheduled me for another surgery, and it was really early in the morning. I remember Madison stayed the night that night, and I tried to stay up the whole night until until the surgery. So like I straightened my hair and I painted my toenails, and I painted Madison's toenails when she was asleep, and like I tried to be so cute. I even considered putting on makeup before surgery. Well, I went to surgery. I had surgery, which I almost got them to record the surgery, but my dad was like tripping. Like, he didn't want me to. They were down. Like, I was like, I got my video camera. Can you record it? And they were like, sure. And then my dad was like, no. And I was like, whatever. They knew what kind of cancer I had before I even woke up. This second biopsy right here was Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 2A. Now, there's a lot of different stages of cancer. Well, there's 4. There's only 4. But A and B, to be honest, I don't even remember the difference. I should have got my mom to be in this video with me because she knows a lot more than I do, apparently. I mean, obviously, she did research, and I just looked up cute hairstyles and cute wigs. That's all I cared about at the time. So, after that, I started treatment. My treatment plan was like 6 months of chemo, 14 days of radiation. So the chemo would be like, I would go in for about 4 days of chemo where I would be admitted. So they would admit me, and I would get chemo for 4 days straight, and then they'd let me out, and then I'd go home for 7 days, and on that 7th day, I would go back to the hospital for 1 full day of chemo, and then I would go home for the rest of the month. And then when the rest of the month was over, I would go back for 4 days, go home for 7 days, come back on the 7th day, do 1 full day, and then go home. So I did that for 6 months, and then and I think it was 6 months, and then I did 14 days of radiation. Now, nauseated to the point where you just want to freaking sleep 24/7 so you don't feel nauseated. The weirdest part was, like, it doesn't hurt, but you can kind of feel it going through your veins, because like some chemos feel hot and some of them feel cold. And chemo is basically a poison that, you know, kills the cancer. So that's why people that get chemo have such a low immune system, because it kills the good bacteria and it kills the bad bacteria and it kills everything basically. So you're left with nothing, and you have to protect yourself, you know, from everything until your immunity is built again. So I used to have to wear like face masks so I didn't like breathe in the nasty, you know, of the world, and gloves and stuff like that. But yeah, chemo wasn't really bad. I never threw up, surprisingly. A lot of people, most people, vomit during chemo because it's so extremely nauseating, but I never did. I had an allergic reaction to some chemos. I had a tachycardia during one of my chemos, which is basically a heart attack. And so every time I got that chemo, like, they had to monitor me closely, like extremely closely, because I needed it, but I was like allergic to it. So it was crazy. But I have a few stories that I'll do a video on separately so that this video is not super long. But radiation was pretty easy. It didn't hurt either. The most I could feel was like maybe like a pulsing in the area, but it wasn't painful. The worst part of radiation was that they have to strap you down in order to like keep you in the exact same position. So it was basically like a piece of plastic mesh that they would warm up, and they would have you on this like CT bed, like a CAT scan bed, and they would like put the mask over your face and snap it to the bed to where you couldn't move. So then it molded every little crevice in your face to where that way when you got radiation, they would put the mask on you and you would not be able to move. I started tripping immediately. Let me tell you. I had to have them cut a hole in it because your girl, even though it had holes in it, I needed a bit. Look, y'all can strap me any other kind of way, but I need to breathe. You can kind of see how that is in my previous video, like what it looks like at the end of the video. That room in that video is like me getting radiation. Radiation was not that bad. Chemo was bad, but it wasn't horrible. I mean it was horrible. I'm not gonna lie. It's different now, me talking about it, because it was so freaking long ago that it's like, I don't know, like, you know how they say, I don't have no kids, but you know how they say, like, you forget the pain of childbirth? I've heard that before. It's probably something similar to that. Like, I forgot it. I forgot how it felt. Yeah, and after my chemo, they declared me cancer free, but I still had to go through with my treatment plan and finish out the radiation in order for it to, you know, like, be set in stone. They did give me an option to not do radiation. They said you can do chemo and not radiation, but there's a high risk that the lymphoma would come back, and if that were to happen, you would 100% have to get a blood transfusion. You're in isolation for over a month, like, or you can do the radiation. There's less chance of it coming back, but there is a percentage of a chance that you could possibly get other type of cancers in the future, possibly. And at this point, they kind of like made it seem like radiation was the way to go, and I was feeling like I'll deal with the stuff in the future when it comes. If this is more guaranteed to get rid of what I have now, I want to do that. So that's what I did. And I've had some little scares. Like I have a little tiny something in my left breast. It's like a little tiny microscopic pea-sized, okay, not microscopic, like the size of a pea, little tumor type thing in my boob. But yeah, I get it checked every year and it's still looking, it's nothing right now, so that's good. I do have like a thyroid disease now that I have to take medication for, and I will have to take medication for, and it was caused by the radiation. But it's nothing major. I mean, it's just my levels are imbalanced at this point, and I need to take something that balances them out, and that's fine with me. I take it every morning. Sometimes I forget, but it's not too bad. I don't even care about my hair anymore. Like, after you lose your hair and it grows back, it's just hair. It's nothing. I can't believe that's like was my only concern. If I could go back, I would have shaved. First of all, I would have bleached my whole head and dyed it like pink, like my entire head, before it fell out, just to see what I looked like. And I would have given myself a mohawk. And there's so many other things I would have done, knowing that my hair was going to fall out and I could do anything I want to it before it fell out. Yeah. But I wanted to do this video just because so many people ask me so many questions, and you know, this kind of just sums up my story. I got a lot of other stories though. Let me know what y'all want to hear. Well, if y'all have anything that y'all want me to elaborate more on, I could definitely elaborate or do another video on something that you guys, you know, would like to hear about. I think my next video is gonna be maybe like a vlog, like something more like Day in the Life of Taylor, because that's the name of my freaking channel, and it's been that for 9 years, because I think one of my first videos was 9 or 10 years ago now. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I get a lot of videos on like the whole, like, why do I have so many dogs? Where did I get them from? How do I do the rescue? How do I manage this many pets? Blah, blah, blah. Just like that kind of thing. We do a video about how to overcome anxiety. I can do a video about my, I can do some makeup videos if you guys want. I'd rather do more on the business side, like how to start your own makeup business, or how to do this or how to do that, something like that. I would like to do that. Or what should you have in your kit, you know? And obviously I don't know all the answers, but I know what I like and I know what I like to use, and that's what I'm going to tell you. So if you guys want to leave me some suggestions, that would be great. Anything you want to see, I'm open to whatever. I'm still trying to establish like a main topic that this channel is going to be about, but it's definitely going to be not one thing. It's going to be a lifestyle type channel. So just let me know what you guys want to see. And thank you for watching, and don't forget to let me know any questions you have. I can make like a part 2 of this video. It's just because me telling it now, like, I don't know what people really want to hear about. So if y'all want like more in depth about certain topics that I touched on, just let me know. Okay, thank you for watching, guys.